Most established professionals know they need to be doing something with AI, but they don't have any idea where to start. Now, every time you open LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or X or whatever, there's a million different tips, ideas, prompts, skills, all that stuff flooding your feed. So even if you're interested and motivated to embrace AI, it's very, very hard to know what the first thing to do is. And then when you talk to more corporate strategic type people, they say, well, you've got to start with an AI strategy. And of course, that's this big, fluffy type of 6-month sounding sort of project. So in the end, nothing happens. All right. So if you can relate to this, listen up and watch this video, because I'm going to take you through the process that I take clients through when they start working with me. Now, yes, it's important that AI knows all about your business. That's important. That does take a little bit of time. But what's also important is getting some quick wins and getting a task off your plate so that you can actually see the AI working to make your life easier and to actually do some of the tasks for you. So what I like to do is help people understand, or even just look at their calendar or look at their inbox, look at the tasks they've done that day and go, what is a time-consuming, laborious, or repetitive task that I have had to do today or in the last 3 days? All right, so we pick one of those and then we break it down and follow this process. So, for example, I work with a property specialist and they write investment reports. All right, so that usually takes somewhere in the range of 3 to 4 hours once you've looked at all of these different components, analyzed it, and produced a report. Now, the process we go through. First up, what we need to do is actually look for the example of the finished product that you've done before. So you should have, because you've done this task heaps, you've got loads of examples. So pick one of your most recent or one of your best finished products. Now, it might be a Word doc or a spreadsheet or whatever. Give it to your AI. I'm going to refer to it as Claude because that's what I use right now, but it could be ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever else. And say to it, here is the outcome of what we want to be doing. So it knows the target. And then that's step one. Step two then is, can you analyze exactly the format, the structure, and everything about this finished product? All right, so it can analyze it and, look at it and all of that sort of stuff and give you that analysis. And you go, yep, that's exactly what's sort of going on here. That's step two. And step three is to actually give it the inputs that you are working with to get to that finished output. So it might be transcripts, it might be going to certain web addresses, it might be reading information, whatever those inputs are that you as a human, that you as a trusted advisor professional read, look at, watch, or whatever, give those inputs to Claude and say, here are the raw inputs that I was able to go from the raw inputs to the final output. And just say, can you read and analyze these? Cool. And then say, now that you've been able to go from the inputs to the outputs, can you please document the process, exactly how you do it to go from inputs to the final output? And then it will give you a standard operating procedure or an SOP or a procedure that you can go, oh yes, that's exactly how I would do it, or maybe that's even better because the AI has used its own intelligence. But basically, it has then created for you the process, and then what you can do is go, okay, right, let's now test it out with some new inputs. So say, yep, that looks good. Then say, look, well, here's another transcript or some more information or a different set of inputs. Can you now take those inputs, follow this prompt or process to produce me the output that you want? And then once it's done that, you can then obviously review it, see if it's any good, give it any tips for improving. And the reality is, doing that for one of the tasks that's on your plate, in your calendar, the AI is going to do pretty much a fabulous job of doing that. Now, you still need to review it at the end, but what you're going to find is that if it's anything like my clients, whether they're lawyers or accountants or financial advisors or mortgage brokers or property specialists or whatever, there are nearly always tasks that you can actually hand over to the AI and follow that exact process. Give it the output, let it analyze it, give it the inputs, and then let it work out how to go from input to output. That should take stuff off your plate. The property specialist saves 3 to 4 hours every single time. That process can then be used by other people in the team. Lawyers are helping Claude write affidavits. They're making statements. They've got accountants and business advisors doing client reports, all in a fraction of the time because we've trained it up to perform that specific task. All right, so that's exactly what we do in my program. I look for the quick wins. I recommend you do the same because every single quick win that you have just puts a little bit more space into your calendar so that you can then look at another task or project that you can get off your plate. If that resonates, read more about it in the comments below. But that is a very, very useful process for you. Cheers.